You're about to open a window into the life of a ghost hunter. We'll show you dark, creepy roads that fade into the night. We'll show you haunted places, but most importantly, we'll show you what happens along the way there.
Hi everybody, I'm Jeff.
And I'm Linda.
Bump Ass is actually a place in Virginia. And we are heading up there for our first investigation tonight. Bump Ass, Virginia.
Yeah.
And I am pronouncing it right this time. Believe me.
I think so.
Yeah.
It could be Bumpus.
I don't think so. The lady on the phone, she definitely said Bump Ass.
Did she really?
Yeah.
I would say Bump Ass if I lived there too.
Absolutely. So we're heading up there tonight. We'll be staying over somewhere and then heading out to Roanoke tomorrow for another investigation. But what we're going to do is we're heading up through Williamsburg here. And we know of a place that is amazing.
Yes.
If you're ever in Williamsburg, you've got to eat at this place. It's called the New York Deli.
Yeah.
And the New York Deli, like, everything I've tried there has been amazing.
Yes. Yeah, they've got really good pizza.
Mm-hmm.
We've had, what is the name of that pizza? It's like is it a Greek pizza?
I think it's a Greek pizza.
I think it's a Greek pizza.
Yeah.
That is
Pizza.
amazing.
Their calzones are good.
Yeah, their burgers are good. Their fries are amazing. They've got these giant slices of cheesecake that you can get. Those are good.
Right.
Yeah, good stuff.
So I think we're going to stop there and put that second G in the title before we get too far up the road here, because we're pretty hungry.
Yeah, me too.
All right. So we're here in the New York Deli, and the salad has already come out. I got a salad. I got the gyro dinner. It came with this. Some Greek dressing there. It's looking pretty good. And I'd like to highlight these sodas right here. These are Dr. Brown's. They're natural flavor. This one's black cherry. And they all have a vintage picture on them. Like this has the Central Park Carousel from New York. What about yours over there?
Mine is a cream soda. I really, really like cream soda. I'd venture to say I'm a connoisseur of cream soda. And Dr. Brown's makes some really good cream soda. Normally IBCs that come in the bottle are my favorite, but this is actually quite good for being in a can.
So I've seen these salads before, but this will be my first time actually trying them. And I'm pretty eager to do that. It's got the olives that still have the pits in them, which are pretty good. Got these peppers. It's a good pepper. And plenty of dressing.
Greek dressing, right?
Yeah.
Or house dressing, one of the two.
Greek dressing. So let's see what this stuff tastes like. I eat a lot of meat, so I'm not really a salad person. But like I said, it came with the gyro. It's a good salad. Well, the food has arrived. Now let's take a look at this gyro right here. I mean, this thing is loaded up.
It is.
Man, I can't wait to tear into that. And then you have the burger over there.
I do, and look at the size of this burger. Doesn't that look amazing? With the bacon on it? Yeah.
Man, that That does look like a home-grilled burger kind of.
Yeah. Usually I
Outside.
get the gyro, and it's really kind of hard to eat because it's so large that it sort of overflows the plate as you cut it up. But I decided to try something a little bit different. I've never had their burgers, and they always look good when I see them coming off on the plates of other people and going to the tables. I'm like, man, I got to try a burger one day. So here we are.
And I was thinking about the burger, but we've got our eye on a place for tomorrow that's kind of a burger place. So I'm gonna see if I can get this. We're just supposed to get this up like this, or how are we supposed to do this?
I usually eat it with a knife and fork because that looks a little intimidating to me. But
It does look very intimidating. I mean, even from my standpoint, look at the meat on this thing.
I know.
It's like Spam, kind of like meat, right? Is it like
It's supposed
Spam?
to be lamb.
Like Spam lamb.
Spam lamb.
Here we go.
Whoa.
That's a good gyro.
I ordered a burger platter. She only wrote it up as a regular cheeseburger. So I didn't get the fries. But when I went up and asked, I said, am I supposed to get fries with this? The manager went ahead and gave me fries anyways, just for free.
And it's quite a hearty plate there.
It is. The only bad thing about it is that it was also, the platter was supposed to also come with coleslaw. And it comes with a little bit more on the burger than what I got. I would have liked to have had like onion on the burger. I think that would have been really good, but it's, still got actual bacon on there and lots of cheese, and the burger's not one of those thin little patties. It's actually a very substantial piece of meat on this thing, and I'm slowing down. Like, I don't think I can eat all of this.
So there you have it, the New York Deli down here in Williamsburg. Great place. Everything I've had there has been really, really good.
Yes.
The gyro tastes a little healthy to me. For some reason, it tastes a little healthier than some of the stuff I'm used to eating. And I saw that burger that Linda was eating, and I got to say I really liked the way that burger looked.
It was a good-looking burger.
It was, absolutely. But we're going to get on the road here to Bump Ass.
Yeah.
And perhaps find some coffee out there in the night.
Hopefully.
We'll see what happens.
There's no coffee past Goochland.
That's right. Are we going past Goochland?
I think so.
I don't know. There might not be any Sheetz near Bump Ass.
Oh, maybe not.
No. So we're driving down these back roads here, somewhere near, not too far from Bump Ass. About 15 miles left to go. And we're thinking like, okay, Ashland is nearby. There's a Sheetz nearby.
Right.
There's not.
No.
There is not. So the beacon that we saw, we're thinking, oh, there's not even going to be a chance for coffee along these roads. But the beacon that we saw this time was blue.
Right.
Was a Valero Fast Mart.
Right.
So
That's where we are.
I don't have high hopes for the coffee, but I have hopes that there is coffee here. Let's find out. Looks like if you come here during the day, you can get some chicken over here. Yeah. All right. I could go for some chicken right now.
Yes, yeah.
Wash down that thing that I had for dinner. I forget what it's called. Gyro. All right, here we go. So Perfect House Roast. I don't think we can go wrong with a Perfect House Roast. It's got perfect in the name. Let's give it a try here. Take a 16 ounce. Oh yeah. It's coming out. I see some smoke coming off it, or some steam, I should say. Yeah, it's piping hot, I venture to say. It's got some good texture to it, too.
Yep. So what I see over here is the cappuccino machine. I like the cappuccino machine.
Ah. That might be a gamble, though.
English toffee flavor.
I think that's more of a gamble than the coffee?
Yep. Yeah, I like pepper. It always comes out of this machine nice and hot.
Yeah, it does.
And you can't go wrong with English coffee flavor.
That's correct. And I just noticed what they have over here is my top whipped topping.
Ooh.
So you're going to put it under there and push that down, or
Hell
not?
yeah, I am.
Oh, there it comes. Oh,
Look at that.
A little COVID on the end of that.
I'll take it. If I'm gonna get COVID, it's gonna be from whipped cream.
Yeah. All these other people are getting it from Walmart, and they're gonna get it from whipped cream at a Fast Mart in the middle of nowhere. So Fast Mart is featuring some wrap snacks here, right?
Right.
And those are Linda's favorite. The top
These
ones.
are my favorite. Sour cream with a little dab of ranch. Oh man, those things are good.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to mention these right here. Barbecuing with my honey.
Yeah.
Those are really good too.
No, I don't
Not
see.
boozies.
The ones that I've liked were the little boozies.
Yeah, they look a little boozy.
I gotta say, Little Boozy had some good chips.
Yeah, because they're kind of spicy. You like the spicy ones.
Mhm.
They were more of a spicy chip.
But I'm still waiting to come in here and see Vanilla Ice on some wrap snacks.
They still don't have Vanilla Ice. We keep watching out for them, but
Yeah.
I think maybe because he's a thing of the past. Like,
But I mean,
don't know.
a lot of these guys are, aren't they?
well, Notorious B.I.G. I mean, I know he's not still in it, is he?
I don't know.
Wasn't he the one that killed Tupac?
No, that was somebody else that you can't say their name without getting banned from YouTube and stuff like that.
Really?
I think so.
Say it.
Huh?
What was the name?
Was that guy that I mentioned him at the Pocosin Museum when that guy came up, and he said he was somebody for Halloween.
Oh,
Suge Knight.
Suge Knight.
Yeah.
That's right, Suge Knight. Yeah.
You didn't
yeah,
hear
I think
that.
You're right.
So Bump Ass was a bust.
Yes, it was.
We went up there and unfortunately, I guess they weren't quite expecting us.
Well,
I'm not sure. I mean,
I don't know. She was working at the time.
she was working, so
yeah, and
some
her
kind of a
husband had no
miscommunication
idea
there.
what
Yeah,
was going on.
definitely a miscommunication.
Yes.
But so no investigation in Bump Ass tonight. This
No.
happens. It's only the third time this has happened, though. Isn't that surprising?
Yeah.
We're just talking about that.
Yeah.
You would think it would happen more, where we get to a place and someone doesn't show, or cancels last minute. I don't know.
I mean, some people do cancel. That happens more often. I
Yeah,
think, is
but
when
us
people
actually
cancel
going
last
out there
minute.
and
Yeah.
someone not answering the door or
Yeah.
not being there. It's only happened 3 times that I can
know.
recall.
Yep.
But there is a bright side to it.
Mm-hmm.
And this bright side that I'm talking about is a red beacon.
Yeah.
Yes. A beacon that none other than signifies the location
Yes.
of a Sheetz,
Sheetz.
right?
Yes.
And we are at the Sheetz in Orange, right
Right.
outside of Gordonsville here, Virginia.
We like the orange sheets. Orange sheets is nice.
We do. Orange Sheetz is good, even though it's red, but
Yeah.
the town is orange.
Yeah.
So we're going to go in here and perhaps grab some snacks and
Yep.
see what happens from here.
Yep.
We've got a hotel out in Charlottesville that we're staying out tonight.
Yep. Let's see if we can find somewhere along the way. Maybe some sort of urban legend. We've been looking around. So far, haven't found much.
No.
Charlottesville is an old town. There's a lot of old places that are haunted, but they're usually indoors.
Right.
Like I haven't found a lot of urban legend kind of stuff. So.
Urban legend outdoor stuff is cool.
Yeah.
So there's a reason to stay tuned. Now, we've made this statement before that we're going to look for these things and haven't. We haven't found them. So there could be a very good possibility that
we don't find
anything. But
Yeah.
stay tuned. That's the only way to find out.
Right. You know what I like is a free continental breakfast.
Ah, yes. Unfortunately,
None here?
COVID.
Oh, that's right.
COVID killed the continental breakfast.
Damn.
But they do have fresh coffee and juice. They have a juice machine down there. You can get juice 24/7.
And they have a Walmart or a Waffle House nearby.
Yes, there is a Waffle House. Do I smell breakfast? I do. There are also, though, vending machines, as with most hotels.
Well, we did bring our own snacks.
That's right, Sheetz snacks.
Yeah.
So I gotta say, in all my ventures with VAPI, this is probably the nicest hotel room I've ever had. One of them, and that's because we usually get a motel.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
I
It's
mean-
also the smallest.
It is small.
Yeah.
They have some decor. They got a fancy bathroom in here. And I'm sure around the corner there's one of those hot tubs with the thrusters and stuff like that.
Ooh, yeah.
Probably not. Just a regular bathtub. But a hotel is a rare thing.
It is.
It is.
I really like this, though.
I can't say I like it more than camping.
No, I don't like it more than camping. But camping in the freezing cold, this is better than that.
Yeah, I don't know. If I could
Definitely.
be firing up a campfire right now,
I don't know.
you know,
See,
some
I'm
little smokies.
going to be firing up the TV and sucking up some cable because we don't have cable.
Ah, yes.
So that's what I'm going to be sucking up.
But who needs cable when you have YouTube?
Yeah.
So it's looking like a beautiful day out here in Charlottesville. Right now it's 34 degrees, and the high is supposed to get up to 45. Low is supposed to be 32. So some winter weather, and I do love some winter weather. Now, some of you may be wondering, and most of you probably aren't, but nonetheless, Jeff, you know, when you're on the road and it's going to be a little bit before you eat, what do you eat for breakfast? Because I'm the kind of person that I want to get up and I want to immediately eat breakfast.
Right.
You know what I mean? I need to immediately get some food in my system to get me going because, you know, 7 hours after eating my last piece of food, that stuff's all burnt down already and I have no energy. I like pickled stuff. Not just regular pickled stuff, but pickled eggs. I picked these up at Sheetz. And these are certain things that I will try because it's basically eggs. And who doesn't like eggs for breakfast? These are just in pickled form. And last time when we were out in south of Danville, I had some pickled sausage.
That's right.
Because they have some pickled sausage for breakfast. So I always pick these things up because they'll last. They'll last a long time. Wherever you're going, you can take them with you. And they'll still be good to eat in the morning.
That's true. They do actually have a lot of preservatives in them, and for that reason they're good. But the taste of them, I don't know. I like pickles. I love eggs. I just can't do the pickled eggs. There's something about it that's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
I don't know, but I'm going to eat these with a little bit of pepper on them. And then that's going to hold me over until we get across the street to the Waffle House. Today, fortunately, we don't have to wait too long for breakfast, I'm assuming.
There is Waffle House, yes.
Yeah. And we got to eat early so we have time for lunch.
Yeah.
Or dinner before the investigation.
Yeah.
And then something after.
That's right.
So, got to space out these meals.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that tonight we'll get to run some video at the investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Most importantly, I'm hoping that someone will be there.
I know.
Because if not,
that would help.
this is going to be a whole lot of eating.
Yeah.
But I got to say, I'm excited about Waffle House.
Oh, yeah. I love Waffle House.
You thinking the usual or something else?
Maybe the usual. It's good. It gives you a variety.
You find something you like, stick with it, right?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So I gotta say, I do like the brisk weather out here. It's nice to wake up. It's kind of refreshing to wake up and you have a cool day like this.
It is.
Yeah.
It is cool, but it's not too cool.
Right.
That's what I like about it.
I am ready for some snow.
Yeah.
Would like some snow.
Maybe not this weekend.
Kind of want to test out the 4-wheel drive, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think one thing we never took into consideration when discussing coffee was Waffle House coffee.
I know.
Waffle House coffee is on point. I think it's right up there with Pilot, I gotta say, at the risk of criticism.
I know. And I've just now started drinking my coffee black for the sake of, cutting back sugar in my diet. And you can really taste the flavor of the coffee a lot more when you don't have the creamer and the sugar in there.
That's how you get the real flavor of the bean, you know what I mean?
Exactly. We use Maxwell House at home, and I really like Maxwell House. But some of the other coffees, like this here, is amazing. I don't know exactly. It's not too strong. It's not too bitter, so I kind of like it. I think it's right up there.
But you've never tried Pilot House Black. You got to try Pilot House Black.
Yeah, I do have to try the
because
Pilot
that's
House
some
Black.
Good, bold trucker coffee.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that'd
That's
be
what it's
pretty
made
good.
for. It's made to keep you awake. It is the best coffee on the interstate.
Yeah.
But then you got to take into consideration Waffle House.
Yeah.
That's why, though, I like the beans when you have a flavored coffee. I don't like, I was saying last night, when they add the syrup. I don't like that. I don't like that artificial flavor. I like the beans that are actually flavored when they flavor the beans and roast them like that.
Right.
And it's roasted into the coffee.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, that is pretty good stuff. I'm not too sure about hazelnut. I like hazelnut. It's just not my favorite. I think that maybe I'd like to try a caramel coffee like that if they have one. But one of the things I want to try is Black Rifle coffee, black.
Black Rifle coffee
tried it
black is, I don't believe they serve that on the interstate.
No.
Or that would probably beat Pilot House. Because
Right.
Black Rifle coffee is probably hands down the best coffee I've ever tasted.
Yeah, it is really.
And if you're not familiar with it, look it up. It's a good company.
Yeah,
they're
good
very
cause.
very
Yes.
patriotic. It's run by veterans.
Yes.
So it's a really good company.
It is.
So the breakfast has arrived here.
It has, and I'm already diving into it.
Yeah, how is it?
It's really good. I love their eggs. They have a lot of flavor here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure whether they make their eggs with like a liquid egg mix or what the case is, or fresh eggs, or but you know, whatever it is, it's good.
It is. And I, of course, have some jalapenos here in my hash browns. That's called pepper. I also have them covered and diced, I believe, which is onions and tomatoes. So last night, obviously, we didn't find any urban legends or haunted places in the area, but there is a place that we know of that is a known haunted location, and it's a place I've been wanting to check out for some time. And the last time we looked into it, it wasn't really accessible, but that was a couple years ago. Now I believe it is accessible.
Yes.
And this is a haunted train tunnel out here in the mountains known as the Crozet Tunnel.
Yes.
And it's supposed to be very haunted. So
Yeah.
it's right on our way, right off the interstate. So we're gonna take this exit and check out Crozet Tunnel.
Yeah, see
and
if we can scope it out.
yeah, scope it out and see if there's anything preventing us from coming back at night in the
Right.
future.
At the stop sign, turn left onto
So before we enter here, we'll take a look at the map here. Looks like there's quite a few trails back here.
Yeah, it certainly does. Nelson County. Oh, here we go.
So
you
what do we
go
got
up.
there?
So right here, it says you are here. This is the parking area that we're at right now. Okay, they got a mile post and a quarter of a mile. Then there's the east portal, right? You can see the Blue Ridge Tunnel. That's the original one, the old original tunnel right here. And they have a shoot off that goes to this newer tunnel right there. And you can see in the picture up here on the far left, see? You can see the old entrance to the Blue Ridge Tunnel here. And the new, I think what they call the Crozet Tunnel is the new one.
Oh yeah. And here's the history of it right here. Quite a bit of history. The Blue Ridge Tunnel was constructed between 1849 and 1859 beneath Rockfish Gap in the Blue Ridge Mountains of central Virginia. Wow.
Yeah.
The 4,273-foot long passage took nearly 9 years to construct, employing mostly Irish immigrant laborers.
Yep.
The longest tunnel in North America at the time.
They said it was built by Irish immigrants and by slaves, and they dug the entire tunnel by hand. There was no dynamite used in the blasting of it. They just got on either side of the mountain and dug and dug and dug until they met in the middle, and that's how the whole thing was built. But evidently a lot of people had lost their lives in the building of the tunnel. It was very rough conditions, but you know, considering that the Irish had come from over in Ireland, where at the time they had like the potato famine, and they were in the middle of a war. There was pretty horrible conditions over there, so they probably considered that coming to America and working on a job like this was not that bad. But to us today, it would have been like hell, because let's face it, we're all pussies nowadays. You know, we don't work hard anymore like they used to. But can you imagine digging a tunnel like this with just pickaxes? By hand.
And it says at its deepest point, it's 700 feet below the surface. It's crazy. But it's great to see that they're restoring something like this and keeping it alive.
Yes.
You know, so many of these places are forgotten and overgrown and
Abandoned.
yeah. it's neat that they're preserving something like this, a part of history. Now, there was an
Yes.
interesting report that you read on the way up here of one of the tragedies that happened in this tunnel,
Right.
and that was pretty interesting.
It was.
Back in 1910.
Yep, back in 1910, there was an Italian immigrant who had moved to America with his family. He had 6 children. At the time that they were adults, he decided to move to Ohio. So they boarded a train in Norfolk that was bound for Ohio. And they had gotten through Charlottesville okay, and they entered the tunnel here, the Blue Ridge Tunnel. And because it was such a long tunnel, the conductor had instructed everybody to keep their windows closed because otherwise smoke would enter the train cars. Well, evidently somebody didn't really understand the whole, the instructions. They had one of the windows open and smoke started filling the cars, but everybody was asleep at the time. And when they woke up to find the smoke in the train car, everybody started to panic because they thought that the train was on fire. So, of course, the first thing they did was open more windows, which subsequently let in more smoke. And everybody couldn't see. They were rushing around trying to get out. They went to the front door of the car, the train car, and it was locked, and they freaked out. So they ran to the back door. One of this Italian immigrant's young daughters, his youngest one, was a girl named Virginia, and she was only 18 at the time. And for some reason, she was one of the only ones that was able to get that back door open. And in a panic, she threw the door open, and she jumped down off of the thing between the 2 cars. And of course, the train was still rolling, so she was instantly killed by the wheels on the next
Of the
car.
express car that was behind.
Yeah.
Yeah, so one of the spirits that perhaps contributes
Lingers
to some
here.
of the hauntings in this tunnel. Now, we
Yes.
stopped right here. Looks like there's some really cool old pictures that drew
There
my
is.
attention. So let's take a look at what this has to say. Okay, look at this. The James River near the mouth of the North River. It's a neat old picture there. And there's a packet boat. James River Canal, 1860. And then the contractor's book. Working drawings of tools and machines. All right, here
So-
we have Claudius Crozet.
Yeah, we found a sign that's sort of dedicated to him. He sounds like a pretty fascinating guy. Grew up in Paris. But it does say here that he was called by far the best mathematician in America by Thomas Jefferson. He helped found the Virginia Military Institute in 1837 and was president of its Board of Visitors from 1837 to 1845. And this is his writing desk, his portable writing desk. So that's kind of cool. He used to write letters about the railroad. Pretty fascinating guy.
Now I gotta say, that definitely explains the name of the tunnel. All right, not to sound stupid by any means, but when you're doing research and you're looking this stuff up, you're reading a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? So for some time, I thought it was the Crozet Tunnel.
Right.
Right.
We didn't realize he was French.
I didn't realize that, no, until I actually got up here, talked to some of the locals a few years back.
Yep.
They're like, oh, Crozet. They referred to it as Crozet. I was like, oh, okay,
Right.
so that's how you say it.
Yeah.
So, and then I knew it had to be French.
Yeah, and it's a much better sounding word, crozet. Crozet.
Right, it's kind of
I
like a
like that.
bouquet or bouquet.
Yeah, it just
You know?
kind of rolls
Yeah.
off the tongue a little easier.
Absolutely.
You know.
Okay, another little historical marker here. And this one's cool. It's got an old postcard. It says it's undated. An old postcard from along the C&O Railroad near Crozet, Virginia. There's another old picture of the steam train coming through the mountains. And I gotta say, that's an impressive sight right there. It really is. Especially, there's a lot of people that have never seen a steam train firsthand.
Right.
Because it's kind of a thing of the past. You actually have to usually make a specific trip to go to a place to see a steam train.
Right.
And I've done this several times at several different places. I've ridden on them. But I gotta say, when you see these things starting up and the steam comes out, it's amazing. The sounds that they make as the wheels start to turn.
Yeah.
But that picture that we just saw, it reminds me, we were up in the woods around Scranton, Pennsylvania several years ago. We're looking for the remains of an old amusement park that used to be there called Luna Park. And there's some train tracks through the valley there by Steamtown where the steam trains still travel and take steam rides and stuff, steam train rides. And this train came through the woods, and the woods just filled up with steam. You can hear this thing barreling down the tracks, and it's just an amazing sight. It kind of reminded me of that picture there. Right. Because you see it just coming through the trees and the steam all over the place.
Yeah.
And they're pretty intimidating. They really are.
They are. Yeah. It's a cool sight. Yeah. I love the look of them in particular. Just, all black and just the way that they're built, and it's just.
Yeah. The look, the smell, the sound, the coal, the smoke, the valve oil and steam. Man, there's something about a train.
Yeah, some guy up there shoveling coal into the burner to
Yep.
keep things going, and yeah. So what we have here is a sign that's talking about the laborers, most of them being Irish. I believe they said at one time that there was about 800 people that were Irish that were working on this tunnel. They've got the map of Ireland there, and they're talking about the early 1850s when hundreds of Irish famine immigrants came to the counties of Albemarle, Nelson, and Augusta in Virginia. They came to build the Blue Ridge Railroad and its 4 tunnels. And they erected shanties nearby, lived with their families in these little small houses. But it was very difficult. It was round-the-clock labor, and created almost unbearable noise, and there was smoke, and it was just terrible. There was falling rocks that they had to be careful of. They might have been killed by that. But they talk about how, if you skip down here, cholera epidemic actually came through the area in 1854, took the lives of 33 people. And in addition to that, 190 other Irishmen were killed on the railroad from disease, infection, and work accidents. A curve.
Yeah, looks like we're getting closer to this mountain right here.
Yes. Yeah, we were looking for kind of a curve in the path, because not too long after that curve is actually where the railroad is going to be that goes through the tunnel. So this curve looks promising. This is amazing.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Look at this.
You can see the newer tunnel off to the left here, the one that's perhaps still active.
So here we are at the entrance to the old tunnel. And this is really quite a feat. Just seeing the rock cut away in this one entrance area makes you realize how difficult this must have been to be able to cut a 4,000, what was it, 273 foot long tunnel. I mean, it's unreal to think that you can cut a tunnel like that out of pure rock. So fascinating.
That's amazing. And I'm interested to see what this little thing is right here. Looks almost like maybe a memorial. Civil engineering landmark.
Yep. excavated the tunnel using hand drills and black powder. So they did do some explosions to some extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that said they didn't use anything was from a website,
Yeah.
which is why we love coming to places like this and getting the first-hand source.
Yep. This is quite a feat for that long ago.
Yes, it is.
And it says the reason they built the new one is because of larger locomotives and World War II freight traffic. That's what sort of necessitated the building of the new tunnel. But this is still going to be my favorite, the old one.
So this really is amazing. And it's cool, this little waterfall that comes down.
Yeah.
You can see the flashlights in the tunnel.
You can, but look at the opening all the way down there.
Yeah, it's just like a little pin light.
It is.
And they say flashlights are required. I guess phone flashlights count, right?
Yeah.
All right. Let's check it out.
We're used to crawling around in the dark.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't think we're going to have a problem.
Is that the end? We're like way down there?
So this is really cool. It kind of reminds me of Poorhouse Tunnel in a sense because it has the channels of water running down either side of the road. But look at the cut rock in here. I wonder if I can get a good picture.
Yeah, it is amazing.
It is. Some of these people passing and stuff.
And it's getting significantly darker as we're going farther along here.
It is. But because it's daylight right now, there's still just a little bit of light filtering in from either end. But I would imagine when we get a little further on, where it's a little darker, a little farther away from the entrance or the exit, it could get quite dark in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now imagine being here in the middle of the night with no light filtering in from the openings of this tunnel. And standing here in this tunnel and listening to the sounds of the falling rain or the falling water coming out of the rock and the echo that's created.
Yeah.
It's got to be one of those tunnels where there's a lot of audio pareidolia, where you can hear sounds that are not necessarily, voices or anything, but they sound like it. But I would love to do an EVP session in here.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
It would. And I would do one now, but unfortunately there's far too many people walking through the tunnel at this point.
Yeah. It's getting gradually darker.
Yes.
We're getting more and more towards the center, away from that light.
Yeah.
It's weird because you look through it and you see the light from the other side. It's got to be light through there, but when you get into it, yeah. The light's starting to disappear off the rocks. Can't see them like you could before. I have to have my light on the camera for us to actually be able to see anything here. Just listen to the sounds in here in the darkness, how they carry us.
Yeah, everything echoes.
Yeah.
And the crazy part is you get into the center here, and I mean, there is water falling into the tunnel. Look at this. I mean, it's flat out of a crack in the rock, this marble tunnel. That's amazing. Water will always find a way.
Yes, it will. I don't see any other flashlights nearby.
I know, it looks pretty dark.
I could sing right now and no one will know where it's coming
I
from.
know. You could string blood murder.
Yeah. And then take off running out of the tunnel.
Exactly. Creepy. I like it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'd love to be down here at night though, like you said, where you can't even see that light in the distance there.
I know. And the thing of it is that light right now, like you and I are looking at that light and thinking, well, that doesn't look that far. That's a hell of a long ways to that light.
Yeah. Yeah, it sure
It's
is.
kind of getting quiet.
It is.
There's nobody else in the tunnel. In the center of the tunnel right now. Virginia, are you here?
That's a good question.
If you're here, Virginia, give us a sign that you're here.
Got some voices toward. You can tell where the voices are coming from at least. They're coming towards the beginning.
Can you throw a small stone?
How dry this rock is.
So, I do have this app on my phone. I think we've tried it a couple times before. I'm gonna turn the volume down so I don't freak out the other people in the tunnel.
Yeah, the last thing you want is people walking by and they hear die.
Yeah, unholy.
And they're like a half a mile in the tunnel.
Virginia, I have this device in my hand. Can you come near it and tell us that you're here? Can you try to use this? I understand you were 18. You must have been very scared when you died. With all that smoke in the train car.
She may not know that she's here.
Maybe not. Oh, bad.
One thing with this device that we're using here, it's electric and it sometimes gives us answers that it seems to make up.
Right, or it's generic.
Right, so Virginia, if you're here, one of the best ways you could communicate with this is if you are able to manipulate this device, is by telling us your name.
Keep away. Virginia Rincoli, are you here? We're looking for Virginia Rincoli. If I'm mispronouncing your name, I apologize. Stare. S-T-A-I-R.
That's quite a sound.
It is. Virginia, my name is Linda. And this is Jeff.
We just want to find out if you're still here.
Heart. Yeah, now supposedly with this particular app, when you start hearing the little beeping get closer and closer and louder, and you start to see these little green bars go up to red, that's supposed to indicate that there's a spirit that's near you, which I'm not exactly sure whether that actually works or not. I'm pretty doubtful of it. Something. Virginia, can you tell us your father's name? What's your father's name? We want to know that you're here and that this is not just putting out random words. So I think I'm going to keep walking with this for a little ways and just to see what happens. Agreed.
Sounds like it's a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of like it. Is it the same as a model? Or was that the new tunnel?
I know it's 700 feet below the surface.
Wow.
And I believe the length of it was 4,000 and some odd feet.
It's like 4,273?
Yeah. And you know how many feet are in a mile, right?
No.
Okay, good, because I didn't want to feel bad saying I didn't either.
I'm sure somebody can comment and tell us.
Yeah.
As far as we've walked, though, if you look back towards the opening where we came from, like, look how large that opening seems compared to the one at the other end.
That's right.
So that's actually a quite a distance away. So I have to mention that I'm starting to get that really dizzy, kind of heavy in the chest feeling that I get in some investigations, in some locations, and some areas where, you know, you can walk into a room and I just start getting that weird feeling. And it seems like that indicates that there's a spirit nearby. But I'm not well versed enough at understanding what this feeling is to know that exactly that that's what it is. But just in this section, I started to get that feeling. And it
What's that
popped
say?
up and said lamp.
Lamp.
Yeah.
All right.
Now it says mist.
Any mists?
No.
But once again, that's something you could associate with a spirit.
It is.
And that's why we're using this app, to experiment. We're not saying this app works. I don't believe it does, but we've got to be informed. We've got to know
right.
that it doesn't work.
That's right. I wonder, though, maybe we ought to take a few pictures with a flash on.
Yes.
That's not going to illuminate a whole lot.
Well, you don't need a whole lot.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it, if you get a picture with a flash in any location, it doesn't matter how dark that location is. It doesn't matter how far
That's exactly
the
right.
solid object is. If the spirit is going to be within the flash's reach, it's going to be within the flash's reach.
Yeah, that's right.
So this is what it looks like without the light on the camera.
Yes.
And this is pretty much what it looks like to us too. Like, we literally can't see anything. We can see the lights.
Yeah.
The lights at the end of the tunnel. It feels weird saying that because it's normally light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
But nothing else.
Yeah. I mean, when you turn your flashlights off and you're just standing here in the center, it is really dark. It's really kind of unsettling. It's cold. It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. Okay, still running the app?
Yeah.
Julia came up, not in response to any questions.
No.
We were just talking about how it would be fairly desirable to live in a cave.
It would. I think I understand now why Bigfoot lives in a cave. You know, because if you lit a fire in here, it'd be quite toasty. Like,
Yeah.
you'd be quite warm in here.
Put up a couple of walls and
Yeah.
you'd be good to go.
Right, exactly. You could route some of the water coming down off some of the rocks into like a pipe and a filter system so that you'd have running water. You'd have drinking water. It'd be like a gravity-fed shower that you could have in here. It might be quite cold, but, you know, wouldn't be bad.
That's right. 50.
Wow.
Yeah, this is something, huh?
Yeah,
This part of the tunnel is like all brick.
it is. That's really cool. And you can tell by the brick, you can tell the age of it. Like, look at how much of the mortar has weathered away. That's pretty amazing. There's some old bricks.
Yeah. another name that came up here.
Yeah,
Said
they
Anthony.
had Anthony, right? First it was Xavier, then it was Julia. It also came up with Anthony and a couple of other names in between there as well. It's like coming up with a lot of names, and I'm really kind of surprised because normally it doesn't come up with name after name after name.
But I
like
think
it's
I've
been
seen
doing.
Xavier come up before.
I think I have seen Xavier, but I haven't seen like just first names come up again and again and again, like one right after another. Now it says pendant.
And it's important to note that Anthony came up as I was singing Danny Boy. Just in case there's some, you know what I mean, something
Relation?
associated with that here.
Yeah.
Maybe like there's a guy named Anthony from Ireland
Right?
that was, you know, a fan of the song Danny Boy.
It could be. That very well could be.
You don't know.
Inside.
But also think about this. Anthony is an Italian name.
Yeah.
The train car that was here was a segregated train car with Italian immigrants.
It was, yeah. Now I know that the oldest son was Garibaldi. The father's name was, I believe, Francesco. So, you know, it
But I
could be an
guarantee you there
Anthony.
was an Anthony on that car. And I can say that because I'm part Italian.
Yeah, you don't get a train car full of Italians without one being named Anthony.
Right, right.
But
In
it would
fact,
go
you don't
more
have...
like Antonio, right?
In fact, you take my family, I think there's quite a few people named Anthony.
Yeah, it would be more like Antonio, though. I think Antonio's more of the Italian version of it. Anthony is more of the Americanized version, correct?
I don't know that much about it. I just know there's a lot of Anthony's and a lot of Anthony's pizzas. And
Yeah, well, it's
Tony has
always-
always been short for Anthony.
No, see, it's always Antonio's pizza. It's always like Antonio, right?
I don't know. I think that's a stereotype.
I don't think it is. I think that's how they pronounce the name Anthony. Just like Paul in Spanish is Pablo.
That is.
You don't find Spanish people named Paul.
That it is.
Oh, it just got really quiet in here.
Yeah.
There's very few people in this section walking around.
That quiet was many of our subscribers leaving because of the stereotypes we just made.
It wasn't stereotypes. It's true. The Antonio is how they pronounce the name Anthony. It's the same thing in Spanish as well because they're such a closely related. They're both Romance languages.
Yes, they are. Romantic Italiano.
Yeah. During. I could kill some Italian food tonight, though, as a matter of fact.
Yes, I could too.
Yeah, kind of partial to that Italian food. Especially the one down there in Danville.
It's very quiet right now.
Roma's. It is very quiet.
Should we try singing Danny Boy again?
Yeah.
Oh, Danny Boy, the pipes are blowing. From glen to glen and down the mountainside.
Now that was my stomach.
Oh, good.
Waffle House.
I thought maybe the spirits of the workers might not have liked my singing too much.
It's even quiet on the app down here.
Can you tell us
Bleeding.
where you're from?
Bleeding.
We want to know what town you came from.
That might not be in the database.
That's exactly why I'm asking it.
Uh-huh.
Because I want to see, for me to say that this thing works, I need to see something come up there that hasn't come up there before.
Right.
And that's a direct answer to the question.
Right, exactly. Now the word cork may very well be in this database. We have some people coming back this way.
Yeah, it was pretty quiet for a minute.
It was. Perhaps we should keep walking. We're almost to the end of the tunnel.
Yes, it's gotten bigger.
Yep, and that's our goal, is to get to the very end of the tunnel, just to say that we've done it.
Yep.
We thought about turning around, but
But no, we can't be thorough if we didn't come and walk through the entire tunnel.
right.
That would be my breath.
someone see your breath and say mist. Oh, it's a mist.
Yeah.
It's a mist. It's a ghost.
There's a lot of things that can throw you off, though, with
I
video.
know.
For example, you can see right now as I move this, you can see that little thing moving on the screen. That's actually the lens glare. And a lot of people know, a lot of people don't. So I'm just pointing it out in case there's any questions. That's actually the lens glare from that light. See, if I stop, it stops, right? When I move the camera, it moves. Down, up, and there's my breath again. But that is definitely the light glare from the light at the end of the tunnel. All right, so we're at the point where you can see our faces again.
Yep.
Right out here at the end of the tunnel. Got some huge icicles hanging from it.
Yeah.
And let's flip this around so we can see what it looks like. And it's quite a Christmas scene when you come out of this tunnel and you just see the snow-covered rocks.
Careful, it's very icy here.
It sure is. I'm walking on a sheet of it right now.
Yeah,
But what a beautiful area.
it is. And it looks like the trail does continue. We were curious about that, about what happened at the end of the trail. It looks like it does continue. We're not going to continue this exact time because we want to be able to go back and perhaps have time to do some other things before we have to make it to our investigation in Roanoke. But certainly an amazing sight.
Yes, indeed it is.
The stones around the entrance. It's almost like a partial egg-shaped entrance to this tunnel. And the brick, I mean, the brick in the vaulted ceiling, it just goes all the way. It's like this barrel, cool-looking barrel vault up there. It's awesome.
All right. So here we go, back into the tunnel.
Yep, going back through.
And
It's gonna get very dark because my phone's starting to die, and the flashlight is not going to illuminate on it.
right. Now I noticed something different about this end. Do you notice the walls are all brick
It's
down
all
here?
brick. Yes.
When we came in the other end, it was all cut rock.
Yeah.
So I wonder, at some point, did they start putting up the brick and they just stopped when they got down towards the other end?
I don't know. It might have something to do with reinforcing the loose areas or the areas that had rock that would fall most often. I mean, as you cut through a giant mountain like this, there's got to be different strata of rock. Perhaps one of them you're reaching more of a sandstone or more of a limestone, and the other one's more of a granite. So certain rock may be more prone to weathering and erosion and may fall more easily. And in that case, they would want to reinforce it with brick.
Yeah, I'll say though, this end seemed to get darker quicker than the other end, did it not?
It did get dark quicker. I'm not exactly sure why.
All right, and we're in the end
Yeah.
once again.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. It doesn't have quite the pretty egg shape that the other end of the tunnel has. But this is by far, I think, the creepier end of the tunnel. Because of the falling water, I think it is. And all of the stone around you, it's more of a unsettling feeling knowing that one of these rocks could come down and fall on your head and kill you at any moment.
Yeah, that's unsettling, all right.
It is.
But I will say, we'll point out once again how this end is all rock.
It is.
And it's been rock for like the second half of it, maybe.
Yeah.
Where the other side was all brickwork.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Crozet Tunnel,
Yeah.
the Blue Ridge Tunnel.
Blue Ridge Tunnel. Yeah.
And we walked through it, all the way through it and all the way back again. We ran the app when we were going through there. We run the app
Yeah.
because we want to know that it doesn't work.
Right.
You know what I mean? Absolutely. We don't put a whole lot of stock in it. It's
No.
not a place where we could really go do an EVP session
No.
because of all the people in there and all the voices carrying through and the
Yeah,
echoes.
unless we catch it at a particularly quiet time.
A dead
you
time.
know? Yeah, dead time.
But this was not one of those times.
No.
So we did, just like I said, we experimented with that. We kept it running the whole way through. Not one thing really popped up that was related to trains or accidents or anything like that.
No, not at all.
So I'm not sold on it by any means. But it was pretty cool
Yes.
being here in this tunnel that was built over 110 years ago.
Yeah. Amazing.
Or actually, it
place.
went back farther than that, didn't it? That was the one website that said 110 years ago.
Yeah, it was like 1850s that it was constructed.
Yeah.
It goes back to then.
So it's quite a thing to see this up close, to see this in person,
Yeah,
and just to be in the middle of that tunnel
right.
where it's pitch black.
It is.
You can't see your hand in front of your face.
Yeah,
And you can see the little pin light at either end of the tunnel.
yeah.
And it's something to imagine. What if that little pin light wasn't even there?
I know.
And you're just surrounded by complete darkness.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Right, right. Well, we're going to get on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what the next stop is going to entail. I know there's going to be some grub in the near future.
Yeah, before too incredibly long.
Yep.
Maybe
And,
a pit stop.
Pit stop or two, and on to Roanoke.
Yep.
So we were driving up the road from Crozet Tunnel, and we came upon the Rockfish Gap Overlook, and had to stop just to take in this scene
Look at that.
from the top of the mountain here.
Wow. Beautiful. How far you can see.
Yeah, it really is. So we liked the sleep-in so much out in Charlottesville
Uh-huh.
that we decided to get another sleep-in
Right.
room here in Roanoke.
Yes.
Interesting thing though, this is the hotel that we stayed at, the same one, and this just happened by chance.
Yes.
When we came out here from Mysticon 6 years ago.
6 years.
This was the hotel that we stayed at.
Yep.
The exact same one. So it's pretty cool. And right across the street is where the Mysticon was at the Holiday Inn,
Holiday Inn.
which was a good time. And
It
this was
was.
Linda's first, perhaps, overnight trip
That's
with
right.
VAPI.
That's right.
I believe it
yeah.
was, yep.
Yeah. And as we were pulling up, I thought, Tanglewood sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm.
We were trying to figure out where we'd heard Tanglewood before. And we saw, a couple of things that looked really familiar and thought, no, this has got to be
Yeah.
the same area. Then when we came up to the Sleep Inn, it was obvious that this was the one that we had stayed in.
Right, right. So it looks like we made good choices for hotels back then, and we're still doing it today.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at all this stuff.
So I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get this bar.
The bar?
Yeah, what's that bar?
You talking about the salad bar?
No, I mean, there's that hoppy.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
So going with our theme. Kind of a theme, unexpected theme.
Yes.
being at the train tunnel today.
Yep.
Now we're eating at a train-themed restaurant.
Yeah.
Which is the Great 611 Steak Company, named
Right.
after the Great 611 engine.
Right.
And we have a little bit of a wait, but we went in there and looked around a little bit. Definitely some cool decor.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's some cool stuff in here. Lots of old pictures of that particular type of locomotive, and it's just kind of an awesome thing to be able to see all that stuff. And it looks like, oh, it says we will text you soon. But it looks like they've got a lot of little trinkets and memorabilia, all kinds of train-themed stuff sitting around. And it's the kind of place you could pretty much wander around and look at all of the stuff on the walls and in the display cases for a long time, you know. Unfortunately, there is tons of people here. And everybody's trying to stay away from each other. And, you know, of course, they can't seat the entire restaurant. So we do have a 20-minute wait, 25 minutes. So. But that tells us it's really good. It must be very, very good food. And they had a hot bar in there that I'm kind of looking at. I was eyeballing that. It looks exceptional.
All right, taking a look at the menu here. Roanoke tradition. All kinds of drinks. And then over here is the sirloins and the specialty steaks. And on the back, Linda mentioned some pretty cool burgers. Like the Brakeman burger. So the hot rolls have arrived. Look at these things. Man, they look good.
I know, I could make a meal off of these things. I'm a bread fanatic. I absolutely love bread, but especially like these large hot yeast rolls. Oh, they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good. Problem is I don't want to fill up on those because there's so many good things up at the salad bar. It's not just salads, like green beans and corn and hot stuff as well. So I don't quite want to fill up on one of these. I think I'm going to hold off for a while.
Right. Well, let's check out that salad bar.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, look at this, huh? All this stuff. Is this all you can eat?
I think it is. Yeah, I think you can pretty much, and it's only $3.79 to add it to a meal.
That's not bad at all.
It's not
So I can
bad.
get tacos to go with my steak.
You could.
That's pretty cool.
I'm getting green beans. I love some green beans.
So from the salad bar, I got some kind of a pickle salad here. It looks like a bunch of pickled stuff. So I had to get that because I like pickled stuff. Got a little bit of coleslaw. I got some of these beans that were in with other beans. Green beans, kidney beans mix. I'm not sure if they're pickled or not.
Probably
Some
not.
hot pepper rings. And these shells right here, they look like they wanted some kind of a crab meat. So I'm definitely eager to try those. And can't have too many beans, so I got some baked beans. I see you got the pasta salad over there.
I did. I got some. It's got some sort of orange sauce on it, and it's got a unique flavor to it. It's actually very good. I just can't quite place the flavor. I also got some of the pickled stuff. A little bit of mac and cheese. And the green beans, I already ate because they were stupendous. So the food has arrived. Look at this plate. Those chicken tenders look like they're cooked perfectly. And look at the size of these steak fries. They're humongous. And it's going to be a lot to eat. I can definitely foresee having to take some of this with me. And maybe eating it late tonight in the hotel room.
So I'm gonna cut into this sirloin steak that I got, and I picked their best or their favorite or something like that. It's about an 8-ounce sirloin, I believe. And I like my steak cooked medium. If you're wondering, I'm sure many of you are not, but look at that, man. Let's take a look at the inside of the steak. You want to? Okay. Yeah, we got a little bit of pink in there, which is good.
That's perfect.
That was a good steak. Good seasoning.
Good.
Perfectly cooked. I dare to say they might have Texas Roadhouse beat.
Really? Well, there's a reason this place is packed. So let's take a look inside here. Ooh, look at that. Nice white meat. Oh, it smells really good. I'm guessing that their breading is going to be really good. And I got ranch to dip it in. Not sure what other sauces they might have had.
Buffalo would be my first choice, but ranch is a close second.
Those are really good.
So we got the nod of approval
Oh yeah.
for the chicken tenders. All right, so quite a meal there, I gotta say, with a reasonable price, eh?
Yeah, it really was. It was only $34 for the two of us to eat.
Yeah.
And he had a steak. So
That's right.
that's actually really, really good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yep.
I definitely recommend checking this place out if you're ever in the Roanoke, Virginia area.
Yeah, the food was extremely good, and the waitresses were very attentive and very courteous.
Yep, friendly people.
And yeah, very friendly people, yes. And like I said, all the food was amazing. So definitely worth checking this out. It's usually that those sort of things are more aimed at getting rid of the darker spirits and the stuff that's a little bit scary. So it may be that whatever is here is just, you know, not responding to a blessing because it doesn't really have any bad intentions. But I keep feeling like there's an old woman's presence here. And when you said with a cat, that makes, like, for some reason that just clicks perfectly in my mind. I don't know whether this is something attached to the land or a place that used to be here before this house was here. Do you know anything about the land or what was here before?
Yeah, cattle and horses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm wondering if this is just some spirit that's wandered over from a different area of the land, or like that used to be attached to a house or a homestead on the property.
Well, this was the first house on this property. Next door was my grandmother's house, but that hasn't been lived in since Mom and Dad moved in here because Grandma moved in to help take care of me because Mom wanted to go back to work.
Oh, okay. Weird.
My dad built that. He worked for the railroad.
Oh, so he'd come in dirty and your mom make him take a shower in the basement?
That was his idea to do that, yeah.
That's not a bad idea. Huh. Wow, you got a lot of stuff down here.
Grandma's sewing machine, but
That's beautiful.
that's that was with me
Wow.
in my other house
Yeah.
out back.
Yeah.
And I'm not an antique person.
Yeah.
I've bought a lot of stuff at yard sales, but I mean, I can't really think of.
All right, so we're here at the location in Roanoke. Linda just did a walkthrough, unbiased, to see what she picked up. We're going to put this together into a video that's going to be in the future on our channel here, of course. But looks like we're possibly dealing with the spirit of a ghost cat.
Could be, yes.
She talked about something scratching at the bottom of her bed and climbing up on the bed and walking around. So
Yeah.
interesting when you're dealing with spirits of animals.
It is, yeah. Always is.
So I'll be excited to see what we found tonight. I have a little ball in here that's a cat's toy.
Ah, yeah.
And I'm going to put that on the floor near the REM pod.
And see if we can get something
See
to
what
interact
happens with that, yeah.
Good idea.
We're going around taking our baseline pictures.
Yeah, and so far I haven't gotten anything.
Yeah, a couple of interesting spikes though with the K2 meter, and I actually caught those on video with the other camera. So, definitely interesting. Just an interesting baseline sweep, I
Yeah.
should say.
I'd say I'm done. Yellow and I think even blue. Not too many people can change that to blue though. Why don't you see if you can do that?
When this first started happening, I actually cleared out all my shoes underneath my bed here. Like I got drawers underneath the bed. It's used to be a water bed.
Oh.
And I thought, what in the hell has gotten into my
Underneath there.
mattress?
Yeah.
Into my mattress or whatever. Because it always just felt like it came up from the bottom of the bed and then just went up, you know.
Huh. Can you tell us if you're a male? If you're a man? Are you a female? I don't think you get anything to respond to that K2. And I guess that would be somewhat consistent with it being a cat. Because a cat wouldn't necessarily know how to manipulate an electronic device.
That's true, but maybe if the cat came near it, it would.
Maybe, but that's given the idea that they give off an electromagnetic energy. Which we're not sure that they do or not. So.
So we're trying to get this cat to come out here,
You kitty, 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 kitty,
and we're not having a whole lot of luck. Not 100% sure it is a cat.
No, but it sounds like it. Sounds like a cat. The way that it acts.
It definitely does. And some of the little spikes that we've had on the K2 meter could be completely random. But if it's not random, it's not giving us intelligent responses, at least not in real time to our questions. That's for sure. Kitty, 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 kitty. You kitty, 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 kitty. Try to put my hand out like right in front of the REM pod here.
Yeah.
Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Come here. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. Kitty, 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 kitty. Oh, you kitty, kitty, kitty. Come on, kitty. Here, kitty, 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 kitty. If that thing started going off,
I know.
that would be something.
It really would.
We did do a lot more, though, than call a cat.
Right.
We did. We did. Really, some interesting stuff that we tried. Went in the room where the light switch is flicking, and
Yes.
in the kitchen, ran the spirit box, took the REM pod, tried leaving the recorder by itself with the little ball to see if anything would come out and play with it.
Yeah.
Put the ball on the bed to see if it would get moved.
Yeah. I would be tempted to leave the ball here with the lady. Give it to her. And the reason I say that is because cats are often a little bit shy of strangers
Right.
and people they're not used to. And it would be interesting to see if something would interact with that ball. Maybe when it comes out and feels more comfortable and no strangers are around anymore.
And if it does interact with the ball, would you think that it's a cat?
Yeah. I'd be pretty sure. There's so many other things that a human spirit can manipulate in a home. I mean, you know, look, we got the string of you know, something could just go up and hit that. I mean, like you hear weird random things like that.
Right.
From human spirits. But you don't find them playing with cat toys. Like, I don't think I've ever heard of anything that somebody thought was a human spirit playing
So
with
you
a
think
cat.
leaving the ball here would determine if it was a cat or not?
I think it would help.
I mean, it'd still be a weird human spirit that's crawling up on the bed and picking at her socks.
It would. I know, and everything that she says, all the things that she mentions or reports, sound like a cat.
It
Like,
does.
Cats get in your bedroom at night when you're trying to lay down and sleep.
Mm-hmm.
That's when they want to come
You move
up
your
and
feet, they
want
go and
to-
attack
they
your
wanna
feet.
attack your feet.
You put
Yeah.
on socks, on bushy socks, and they scratch at the socks.
Yeah.
It sounds like it.
That's a cat.
It really does. And Roanoke must be the place for ghost animals.
Yeah.
Really, because the
Yeah,
last time we were
Ryman's
up
case.
here, we were investigating a case that involved ghost dogs.
Dogs.
So,
Puppies, dogs, yeah.
yeah. I don't know. Guess we could if you think it's a good idea.
I think it's a pretty good idea. I also think it might be a good idea for us to take a couple pictures here with this lighting and this concrete wall against the backdrop.
What, for like a profile picture or something like that?
I think we need a new picture for our.
We should have done that in the Crozet tunnel.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That would be cool.
We did take a couple pictures up there. So.
We did.
Check them out on Instagram whenever I get around to post them. I don't keep up with Instagram as much as I like to, but it's what it is. All right, so definitely an interesting clip I have to share here from this, and I'll talk about it in a second, but so what's interesting about that is this K2 meter has been sitting at the foot of the bed the whole time I was in here doing a spirit box session. Earlier when we were doing an EVP session, and it didn't light up. I got a few spikes during the initial baseline sweep at the bottom of the bed here. But when I took that ball and shook it over the K2 meter, there's nothing that should set that thing off. It goes off, and it lights up a very significant spike, quite a few of them. The ball's not electric. It's simply a plastic ball with a bell, yet it is setting off that K2 meter. So, definitely interesting. This whole video will be put together. The investigation will be put together and put out as a future video here on our YouTube channel. So you definitely want to check it out because it's pretty cool. And I'm looking forward now to going back and going over the recordings and see if we got anything interesting. So this often doesn't make it into the video. I felt the need to state it though. Per tradition, every time we walk into a Sheetz, I come back to the Pepsi cooler.
I know you're looking for a Pepsi Clear,
and I hope that one day I'm going to look into the depths of this Pepsi cooler, and there, sparkling in the darkness, is going to be a crystal clear Pepsi. Crystal Pepsi, come back.
No.
But I will not give up hope. I want you to know that. I will keep checking these coolers until the Crystal Pepsi comes back, or until my last day of walking into a Sheetz.
At least until then, they have their own Sheetz box.
That's true. All right, so staying in style once again, I gotta say, the sleep in, and this one's a little bit different. All right, let's take a look. It's got a sliding door here for the bathroom. They got a shower. Doesn't have a bathtub like the other one. The bathroom's not quite as big.
Look how fancy this desk chair is, though.
That is a fancy desk chair.
It is. The last one didn't have a fancy desk chair.
No, that's nice and comfortable.
Yeah.
And I noticed what's really cool is they have a gun cabinet over here too.
I'm pretty sure that's not a gun cabinet, but yeah, they have this big wardrobe thing here. Probably because they don't have a closet. And they do have a strange door that leads into the next room for some reason.
Ooh, I don't like
it's
that.
It's a little bit odd, isn't it? I made sure the door was locked.
Yeah, that's a good thing to do. Yeah.
Odd.
Definitely. So I'm about to open this box of buffalo habanero popcorn chicken. And I gotta say, it looks amazing. Tossed in the sauce with some jalapeno ranch on the side. So here we go. Get one that's all down there in the sauce. I've had the habanero sauce before. I've had the buffalo sauce before, but I don't think I've had the buffalo habanero. That's some good chicken. All right. So breakfast today, it's not quite as classy as Waffle House.
Well, I don't even know if you could classify Waffle House as classy anyways. I mean, you know, but it's maybe still one step below Waffle House. But I do really, really like, don't get me wrong, McDonald's.
Yes,
has
and let's take a look at that, because when I touched mine, it felt so hot that I couldn't hold it for very long.
I know, this is really,
that is the
really
sausage,
hot.
egg, and cheese McGriddle right there.
It's so hot that I have to, I have the paper wrapped around it, but I still have to put it back down because it's that fresh and that hot.
I must say that's my favorite breakfast sandwich.
Yep. But the one thing I'm wondering is, this looks like they're talking about blueberry stuff, and I don't know. It looks like it's got
blueberries in there?
There's dark spots all through it.
I think that's
wonder
the
if
syrup.
it's blueberry.
That's the syrup.
Is it syrup? Well, whatever it is, I'll take it and I'll eat it.
Absolutely.
I'm starving.
We're well on our way back east.
Yep.
Made our last stop here at Love's, grabbed something to eat.
Right.
And quite an adventure this weekend.
It was.
What was your favorite part?
Oh, I don't know. Probably the investigation last night. It was kind of cool because this lady was dealing with a ghost animal again, which we always seem to get in Roanoke for some reason. You know, and it was just kind of a cool investigation.
Yeah, it definitely was. I liked the investigation, but I really liked walking through that train tunnel. That was
Yeah.
someplace that I wanted to go to for some time.
Yeah, that train tunnel was really
and
cool.
it was awesome. Very picturesque up there in the mountains. You walk
Yeah.
out of it, snow-covered trees, and the
Right.
old track bed kind of goes around the mountain there.
Yeah, see, that was actually my favorite part, but I didn't want to say that because I knew that you were going to say that, so I felt like it was better if I said something different.
Yeah, it's good that you saved it for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we got announcement too. We have a new series that's going to be coming out in the near
we do.
future. It's called Paranormal Evidence Room.
Right.
Okay, and what we're going to be doing is looking at evidence of the paranormal and either validating it or debunking it.
Right.
And that's coming soon, so look forward to that. Absolutely.
We're also going to be doing some app reviews on there. We're going to check out some apps and test them out and
Yeah.
see how they work, and maybe even a little bit of equipment.
Yeah, see if the evidence is valid or not
Exactly.
from various sources.
Yep.
But I want to thank you all for joining us again on this adventure.
Yep.
I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
And if you didn't subscribe yet, don't forget to click the subscribe button. All right?
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.